Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
Yo.
Always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fake now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.
Hello everyone and happy
I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone. I'm alright. It's so cold.
All right, so this is going to be a chill stream today. Nothing's really going on in the world, nothing that matters anyway. So we're just going to hang out, all have a good time, be peaceable, and we're going to watch some Shoe on Head. I do have some stuff to show you guys while we're watching Shoe on Head. Right now, it does look like El Trumpo is ruining. Ted Cruz won. And I am shocked. I am awed. I am annoyed. I'm upset. I'm not a donor of any kind, but I would have donated to have this experience. Ben Shapiro was in my hometown at a beer place, beer hall, I don't know what to call it, at a beer place where I go bike riding. I literally bike ride through that area almost every day. He was here, and I didn't know. I could have gone. I could have caused a little bit of trouble. I could have asked some questions. I could have heckled a little bit, and I would have had something interesting to tell you all here on camera. Not right now, honey. So I am. I'm a little disappointed. He was at the Draft House, which is literally when I do my. Is it when I do my 6 mile or my 12 mile ride? I think it's my 6 mile ride. It's on the turn when I come back around. So it's my old fireman's park where I used to hang out as a kid. So yeah, no, Ben Shapiro was in my hometown, and I didn't. No, honey, I'm gonna get up. Okay, so we're gonna do Shoe on Head. We're gonna be updating the election as it comes in. I'm gonna be doing the election stuff on my phone, and we'll be doing Shoe on Head on here to kill time. So, but I got some fun stuff for you all. We are gonna annoy people today. First off, we got to bring out the penny. We need to bring out the penny. The penny's important. The penny, I think, is the most important thing. Ooh, there it is. You know what? I have another penny somewhere. I wonder if I sold it. Did I sell the other penny? But we have the Donald Trump penny. So, even if this man loses tonight, we'll always have his penny. All right. I'm going to get one more thing. Hold on. I'll be right back. Here we go. We are annoying people today. For those playing at home, don't get excited. I don't like Trump, but I don't like Kamala either, and I definitely hated Biden. So we're going to have fun. We're going to annoy people. We are the shoe on head of Catholics and the shoe on head of men. So let's have some fun.
Happy 1 year
I gotta get an
anniversary
American
to
flag
my
background.
male loneliness epidemic video. I'm happy to announce that since that video uploaded, the discourse has greatly improved. People all around the world are taking men's issues more seriously, and the gender war has finally come to an end.
It's true. It's all true. Equality has been reached. Equity is happening. It's all done. Men can box women without any consequence. We have equity, my friends.
Just kidding, everything has gotten worse and nobody has learned anything. From the witches on The View cackling about how men are useless,
Do we need men?
Men are useless.
to women online saying they'd rather be stranded in the woods with a bear than a man,
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
The bear. Bear.
it seems that things have gotten
Oh, does it make me gay if I say I'd rather be stuck in the woods with a man?
more toxic than ever, and the gender
Look, if you want to put Hassan in a dress, I mean, we can talk. We can make inroads. We can negotiate. Hassan in a dress. He's got to shave the goatee, and he needs a wig.
divide couldn't be any wider, especially politically.
In 2008, 58% of young people leaned Democratic. 2012, 53%. And in the last two major election years, that percentage held steady at 55%. But in 2023, that number dipped below 50% for the first time since 2005. And you'll notice right here, they've started to lean more Republican. And that's partly because of one.
By the way, to get this hat, I had to go harass a pair of homeless guys who were selling these hats at a abandoned gas station. I am not kidding. And they didn't want to take my money. They wanted only Cash App. So I had, not Cash App, I'm sorry. Was it Zelle? It doesn't matter. They had to freaking have digital cash. They wouldn't take physical cash. It was annoying.
One specific group: young men.
This is Kraken,
Okay, I
by the
know
way.
I
We're
said
drinking
I was going to
Kraken.
focus on the gender war and not talk about politics for a while. However, I found a loophole. Politics is talking about gender war. With this election being hailed by the media as the man versus woman election, according to any and all data coming out recently, men all around the world have shifted more right, and women have shifted more left. But women going more left was not the focus of this month's outrage. The outrage, of course, was about men. That's right, we got our yearly, oh no, what is happening to men? Why are they moving to the right freak out? But unlike last year, this freak out isn't solely happening on the internet, no. It's also happening in Washington, D.C.
There are only 46 days until Election Day, and the Harris-Walz campaign is struggling to appeal to a group of voters that could determine the outcome of the election, and that is men.
The Harris campaign is making an aggressive last-minute effort to win over younger male voters.
Am I really gonna make a video criticizing the Democrat Party days before the election? Of course I am. Now, before you celebrate or grab your pitchforks, this is not a pro-Trump video. This is a
Hot damn. Okay, so this is current update. Update number 1. We're going to do many updates throughout the night. Harris is at 187. Trump is at 230. Phew. Damn. my vote probably didn't count it. I'm in a county that usually votes Democrat, so I probably didn't have any effect on this thing. But wow. I gotta send this to my wife.
A do better video. This is a mommy's not mad, she's disappointed video. Actually, I lied. Mommy's pretty mad. In this video, I am going to be addressing the Democrats' so-called man problem, the recent discourse about men moving right, the
Daddy don't give a shit. Keep going.
last-minute pandering the Democratic Party is doing to get them back, what they could be doing instead, and of course, going over some terrible opinions. Not my opinions. I have never had a bad opinion in my life. Except that one opinion. We don't talk about that one opinion. In a world where it seems like everything men do
Is she actually missing a tooth? I never noticed that. She always thought she had like a Fraggle tooth.
like is toxic, from eating meat to working out to even having a beard. Oh wait, that reminds me. Before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's video sponsor, Henson Shaving. If you've used a multi-blade razor, you're probably familiar with this story. Irritation, viewer to the Shoe on Head channel. First of all, I'm sorry. But also, you know by now, I have been documenting the internet and society first of all, for not skipping the ad. You didn't skip the ad, right? And now, let's get back to the video. If you are a regular viewer to the Shoe on Head channel, first of all, I'm sorry. But also, you know by now, I have been documenting the internet and society in general's growing and widely accepted hatred of men. This has been happening for a very long time. And if you dare spoke up about it, you were called an incel or a pick-me, depending on your gender. But seemingly, almost out of
There are stats that say the average man has less than 3 girlfriends. I'm doing updates, but everyone else, everyone who I watch, including Metatron, is doing actual coverage. So I figure I'll do the alternate. Hopefully people will come in and watch.
nowhere, there has been a change of heart.
You know, I think men are in crisis, actually, in this country. I think that plays out different ways, but I think we need to have a real conversation about that.
Wow, that's interesting. Mainstream media talking about this? I wonder why they care so much now. Democrats fear Harris losing too many male voters to Trump. Oh. Signs have been mounting that, for the first time in recent decades,
By the way, BS, we are drinking Kraken. So if you have Kraken or some other rum, that is our drink of choice tonight. As America goes down in flames, we shall go down in alcohol. We are doing the Jack Sparrow.
Democrats may lose majority support from young men in 2024. The risk to Democrats is that this is not just a one-time fluke, but an indication of growing trouble with men in coming elections. Democrats can celebrate the support they are getting from young women, but they also need to take the disaffection of young men seriously, engage them directly, and respond to the visions of manhood and masculinity that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are.
I don't know if he would be cool with that. I don't know if he would say that that's screen sniping. I might check in on him just a little bit, just because I really enjoy him. So I might do that. I might do it just a little bit of him and a little bit of Adam and Stitch. That'll be later on.
Offering. Alright, Kamala, you got 2 weeks to reverse anti-male propaganda and resentment fueled by our government, media, and institutions. How you gonna do it? Harris campaign creating space for white dudes. Oh! That's a great idea. I mean, a little too late, but I'm glad you're finally doing to be honest about role in history. Oh. It's always a space for white men to talk about how much they suck.
What made you start this group, White Dudes for Harris? And I suspect some of it has to do with the polling.
Yeah, for far too long, the left has essentially ceded white men to the MAGA right. There's large parts of the left who have gone out of their way to alienate white men over the last couple of years. And that's understandable in many ways. We decided that we wanted to create space.
This is the creepiest looking white dude I've ever seen. I just want to be very blunt about that. She doesn't look much better, but this guy looks terrible.
Space for white men to be a part.
I represent all Hispanics. I'm miserable with my life. Mexicans should support Harris because immigration.
Part of electing Vice President Harris.
At the top of the call, White Dudes for Harris organizer Ross Morales Roquito said he wanted to address what he called the elephant in the room, criticism surrounding an event organized for white men given the country's history of racism. A lot of people felt uncomfortable about the call, he said. Throughout American history, when white men organized, it was often with pointy hats on. They can't even have their gay little Zoom call where they circle jerk about hating themselves without their own movement going, yikes! A bunch of white males in one space? Seems kinda like the KKK. Black people can have their little groups and that's fine, but if a bunch of white people get together, well, that's just called BreadTube. Never mind. White Dudes for
BS, are you allowed to vote in the United States?
Harris. I mean, she's doing pretty bad with Latinos, too. What's next? Hombres con Harris? Oh. So basically, men are leaving the Democratic Party in droves, and it's not looking too good for the Democrats. So it wasn't long until everyone's favorite discourse hit Twitter again. If Kamala loses, which is very possible, there needs to be a real discussion about how Democrats speak to and reach young men. If Kamala loses. If she wins, there doesn't have to be discussion. We shouldn't change anything. Clearly, we're doing everything right. To be clear, I'm not saying we need to worry about women less or change any positions. I'm saying the polling around young men is concerning, and if it turns out to be true, we need to have a discussion about how condescending we are coming off to a huge part of the electorate. To be clear, I'm not saying we have to change anything, I'm just wondering why men aren't voting for us.
Literally, I have, for the last... Let me see. When did Trump get into office the first time? I've been looking for a Democrat to vote for. I'm a Republican. I've been looking for a Democrat to vote for. That's not a joke. I can't stand Trump. And there is not a single Democratic candidate that has any views that even relate to mine. There's about 100 Republican candidates who pretend to believe what I believe. So the choices between people who absolutely disdain what I believe or people who only give lip service to what I believe. It's not a great choice.
What? I am gonna regret posting this so hard. And oh boy did he! The replies were insane, to say the least. I must admit, I cringed reading most of this. I feel that one thing you didn't address is the systemic entitlement bestowed upon white men in the US. That sense of entitlement, that privilege they felt for eternity, is eroding.
I haven't been out bike riding for 6 weeks, and I only barely started going outside in the sunlight again for the last 2 days. So do I count as white right now? Is this white? Is this white? Is it? I know the brown eyes give it away, but that's okay. There's some white guys with brown eyes.
Systemic entitlement
Look,
they
she
have
has brown
felt for
eyes.
eternity. They're like 22 years old.
Oh, by the way, not Ortega. I don't know what Ortega is. But Audrey Plaza is Puerto Rican? I didn't know she was Puerto Rican. I thought she was white. Honestly, Audrey Plaza. I thought she was white. Didn't know she was Puerto Rican. Kind of cool. Still not representing my group because I'm Mexicano. But that's okay.
Old. The f*** do you mean eternity? Who is this, like, 200-year-old man? So, young men are snowflakes with hurt fifis because they're not the center of attention anymore. Got it. So, are they poor little snowflakes, boo-hoo, or are they scary fascists that are gonna turn America into the Handmaid's Tale? Because they can't be both. You either care about the future, or you don't. You cannot simultaneously...
She's so damn cute. That's so unfair. I feel bad for Armored Skeptic. Everybody, let's pour a little out. Pour a little out for Armored Skeptic. That boy. Sorry, brother. Sorry, brother. Here's to you, Armored Skeptic. The forgotten boyfriend whose channel is now forgotten. And you'll always have to see your ex doing well with her new baby and her new husband. That has to suck balls. Continuing on.
hand wave away men moving to fascism, but also fearmonger about it. Hi, man here. Maybe men just need to stop being absolute pieces of dog shit. It seems like the easiest thing to do, right? I don't feel alienated or uncomfortable with democratic messaging because I'm not a complete wannabe fascist cheese dick incel loser who thinks he's the good guy.
That really hurts me as a incel loser. I mean, I'm gonna have to call all the girlfriends that ever slept with me and tell them that we never had sex. Wow, that was painful.
Reddit and its consequences have been a disaster for the male race. They just need to get off their asses, stop playing video games, and get real jobs. First of all, what real jobs? These guys are coming out of college with useless diplomas and there are no jobs. Also, what an out-of-touch boomer-ass take. Get off your ass and stop playing those video games from the generation who watches TV 24/7. I don't want to hear it. Tell them to get therapy. Tell them whatever you told or gave to women in the 1950s.
So this is not a joke. I'm not being silly right now. Though I know I was just being silly, but I'm not being silly right now. This is not a joke. During the last election, there were riots, even down here where I live, and we had to put our cars. I was working at a car dealership. We had to put our cars as barriers to the entrances into our businesses, and we went home early as well. We didn't have to go home early, but a lot of us did. Yeah, that's how bad it was last time. So if Trump wins by the landslide, it looks like he's about to win, the left is going to go nuts. But it's way too early. I mean, it's only 10 o'clock and... Let me see. Let's see where we're at right now. Woo! It ain't looking good for Harris. We're at 205 Harris, 230 Trump. On the race to 270. Golly gosh. It looks like the Senate is going to be Republican and the House is going to be Republican. Wowzers. This is going to be tough on people.
They made this bed, let them sleep alone in it. Or be
This is why you shouldn't speak in absolutes. I'd like to remind everyone.
better men. Any other group of people and it's, oh, boo-hoo, poor baby. Let me rewire.
Yeah, so we'll screen snipe in a second. We'll do a little bit of Metatron if he's still on. We'll do a little bit of Adam and Stitch if they're still on. We're just going to check in on them, though. We're not going to stay there, okay?
all of society so your feelings aren't hurt. And then with men, it's get therapy. Be f***ing better. While there is truth in messaging needs.
See, the thing is that I'm a scumbag dude. I like skinny women. I just do. My wife's a skinny person. You know, has she gotten too chubby for me? That's the question. I mean, it's just hard. Has Shoe on Head gotten too chubby? You know, there was a time I liked Kelly Clarkson, and then she got kind of fat, and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And then she lost weight again, and then I'm like, okay. It's just so hard for a man nowadays, you know? It's just hard for a man. The women gain weight so easily. It's terrible.
To be better from Democrats as a whole, I reject that telling young men they need to be better is the problem. They are trash in their nature, and if they can't do the work to not be toxic waste of seed, that's on them. Vote for my team, by the way. We may not want to hear it, but this is what the data reflects. There is a massive loneliness epidemic in this country which is disproportionately affecting men. Instead of calling them incels or mocking them, we should be willing to hear out their concerns. Wow, a surprisingly...
You know what's funny is I remember growing up getting mocked and made fun of for being dyslexic, for being short, for being Mexican, for being dark-skinned, for being Indio. And now everyone acts like, oh, and not just that, but I got a ton of F slurs and all that stuff. You know, I was friends with gay people, friends with trans people, friends with lesbians. Like, people were brutal, man. And now everyone on the internet is like, I got news for you. Go get onto X or whatever, and then scroll down 3 or 4 videos so you get to how teenagers treat each other now. We're not that much better. It's just the internet people that are acting like things have changed. People are still people. People are still jerks. So, yeah. It's true.
Really good tweet in a sea of bullshit. That's nice to see. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're a straight white man. So yeah, go do something about it. Why are you guys bothering the rest of us with this? I can't figure it out. Because I would like for...
You know, I do miss my hairline. Yeah, the purity culture is real, but also the amount of people kicking each other's asses in the under 21 crowd is kind of not healthy. And the vulgarity and the way that they treat each other is like almost worse than how we treated each other back when homophobia was allowable. So like it's I think the current purity culture and the current oversensitive crowd are in a rude awakening because the generation right after them are way worse than our generation, than the Generation X guys. Generation X and the millennials ain't got nothing on the current gen. So Gen Z is going to have a bad rude awakening. All you PC superheroes, the generation after you is brutal.
Democrats to win the election. Why do you care about men suffering? Because I want to win the election. Amazing. This is the issue right here. Start seeing men as people and not numbers in polls.
Yeah, stop seeing me as meat just because I work out every day and lost my hair. I mean, skibbity toilet. I agree. Skibbity toilet is the problem. Skibbity bibbity. Lickety splickety.
That is step 1.
Did I just make a lesbian reference on a anti-apologetics channel? Did I just make a lesbian reference?
Even do step 1. Anyway, there were thousands of these kind of tweets in response to this guy.
Lickety splickety.
You get it. We've seen it all before. If I went through all of them, this video would be 3 hours long. White Dudes for Harris wasn't the only strange attempt the Democrats threw out at the last second to get the male vote.
Hey, white dudes. So, I think we're all pretty sick of hearing how much we suck.
Is she going to do the porn one? Because I kind of want to see the porn one. The porn one I found funny as hell. If she does that one, I'll be very happy.
Online, it's the same story. We're the problem. And yeah, some white dudes are.
B.S. Lewis, some white dudes are the problem. B.S. Lewis, some white dudes. B.S.
Trump and all his MAGA buddies are out there making it worse.
I like how J.D. Vance low-key comes out as bi or pan, and like he's still a homophobe. The Republican Party is fucked. There's no. I said an F word. There goes my monetization. It doesn't matter. So the Republican Party is like becoming the old Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is just somewhere in la la land. If the Democrats lose, I hope it brings them back to reality because, like I said, I've been looking for a good Democratic candidate. I want the next presidential candidate to be a serious candidate. I'm tired of these joke candidates, and I'm tired of these wannabes and stand-ins. I want a real president. Man, female, whatever, I don't care. I just want a good candidate for president.
Are you f***ing kidding me? Years of these people saying men suck and are the problem, and now they're like, hey fellow men, are you sick of being told you suck and are the problem? The audacity! Apparently, Kamala Harris has a secret weapon to win over male voters.
Kamala Harris is turning to her running mate, Tim Walz, hoping he is the secret weapon who can chip away at Donald Trump's support from men.
Much like how Trump chose Pence to win over the more establishment Republican voters, Kamala seems to have chosen Tim Walz to try and win over the white male vote. And boy are they trying. Now I don't hate Tim Walz, in fact I was pleasantly surprised when they chose him over Josh Shapiro. I like a lot of his policies, like his universal school lunch policy. That's an amazing policy, you'd have to be an insane freak to disagree with that. Or a libertarian. But but I repeat myself. And there were a few times where he was speaking where I completely forgot he was running to be Kamala's VP and not president himself. And he actually brought a lot of energy to the Democratic stage for once. So what the f was this? Putting out a bunch of ads of Tim Walz changing the air filter in a car, clumsily shooting a gun,
I can change the oil.
and drawing a political football play-by-play, trotting out Walz like some kind of minstrel show of a white man, like a man dressing up like a man for Halloween. You don't gotta do all this, bro, I promise you. And they don't shy away about how that's exactly what they are trying to do. Tim Walz is clearly a Midwest man's man, but he's the antidote to toxic MAGA masculinity. Despite his typically masculine resume as a Midwestern football coach and veteran, Walz is utilizing those qualities to push forward a more progressive, compassion-based form of masculinity. Part of being a vice president is understanding that you are just that, someone who is there to aid and support the president. Walz simply being there on the ticket with a woman and taking a back seat to his running mate, Vice President Kamala Harris, is him embracing his leadership role in a positive, masculine way. Football coach and cheerleader, how Tim Walz is defining masculinity. Amy Deal, a sexism researcher and author of the 2023 book Glass Wall.
Anyone have any opinions on Trump giving a blowjob to a microphone before today's voting? Anybody? Continue on.
Walz told USA Today that men like Walz who are intentional about rejecting traits and beliefs commonly dubbed as toxic masculinity are the tonic to harmful stigma associated with expectations of men and boys. He shows you can be masculine but also not threatened by women as equals or women who are in positions of power. In fact, you can be cheerleaders for them. Notice the common theme here: taking a back seat, cheerleading. Like 5 different articles I read specifically use this word cheerleading. Even a few about Kamala Harris's husband, Doug. God knows we need an antidote for all the lousy men in the news, and I think I found one. A lovable goofball who is happy to cheerlead for his wife, the Vice President of the US. Thank God for Doug Emhoff. Successful guys can support their wives.
I am upset that every single semi-conservative is pretending to be in different rooms than each other. Whether it's Tim, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Daily Wire people, whether it's PragerU, they're all in the same building, talking to each other as if they're like miles away from each other. And yet Amalia, or is it Amalia? Oh, what's this chick? I love this chick. She's awesome. Amala. She's actually in her room by herself. That's not fair. Let her in the party.
Be respected.
Come on. Ben, I know you were burnt. But this chick's awesome. Come on.
You don't have to be the
Offer her a job.
quarterback to play the game at an elite level. Emhoff and his breed of dudes who are giving it their best shot may never be as come hither to lost young men as the militant Andrew Tate models of manhood, but they are out there, and, not unlike good husbands, will appear when they are needed. From the outside looking in, the right promises young men a return to the good times, of the glorious past. You know, the one your grandfather had. The Coca-Cola ad rose-tinted version of the past. Back when you can afford a house and support a family on one income. While the left, which historically, in my opinion, had the policies to make that happen, are instead trying to sell men a vision of the future. And well, the future is female. A future where you're no longer playing the game, men. You're on the sidelines being a cheerleader. Doesn't that just sound so exciting? Like, what the hell is going on inside these DNC consultant meetings? I really gotta know. Does anyone have any ideas on how to appeal to young men? And please, for the love of God, do not say we have to offer them anything or change in any way. I got it. What? Camo hats. We did that. Vasectomy bus. We did that. Have you perhaps tried nagging them? Yes, we've been doing that. Say, you know that whole male loneliness epidemic thing? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh yeah.
A really nice place. Have you been here before?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite spots. I bring everybody here. I said I go on a lot of dates, but...
Hey men, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, women won't fuck you. Brilliant! Young men should know that if you vote for Trump, you're basically never going to get laid.
Honest truth,
I mean,
if my wife finds
is it
out
incorrect?
that I voted for
Don't
Kamala
think
Harris,
so.
she won't sleep
Trump
with me.
gives girls the
She
ick.
loves Trump.
Vote Harris, get laid. They are not beating the pretending to be progressive to get laid allegations with this one. Literally just endorsing woke fishing. When men pretend to be more progressive on dating apps.
Jordan Peterson, by the way, on the Daily Wire, is just, he looks so out of place with everyone else who's just talking bullshit, and he's there trying to still, like, gleam a little bit of, like, truth into it.
To get laid. Do not do this, by the way.
He's a nerd among nerds. Like, that's, woo!
Be open and honest about your opinions. And no, you cannot fix them. Also, pretty weird and, like, low-key sexist to imply, like, women are some prize.
Not a joke. Her eyes are extremely beautiful. Like, for real.
Is for voting the correct way. Hey, and if all else fails, go after the Gooner vote.
Oh! Sorry, you can't do that.
What the hell, man?
The problem with this is that it's not realistic. He doesn't have a butt plug vibrating in the background. You know what I'm saying? BS, you know.
Man, how'd you get in here? I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're banning porn nationwide.
I'm sorry. I love this ad. The one time they speak to men directly, and it's, hey men, the Republicans are gonna take away one of the only vices you use to numb the pain. So vote for us. Bleak. Just the absolute state of the world right now. Also, was that Germa? Believe it or not, this wasn't the worst of it.
I'm a man.
A minute 16, then we'll do another update.
I'm a man. I'm a man, man. And I'm man enough. I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon. Neat. Man enough to cook my steak rare. You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast. I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
When I first saw this, I thought it was a parody created by Republicans to make fun of how hard the Democratic Party is trying to pander to men to get their vote. But alas.
I love women. I love women who support their families. Women who decide not to have families. Women who take charge. And I'm man enough to help them win.
Everything from them directed towards men has to have like this tone of irony or self-deprecation. They can't even do it sincerely. But apparently white men aren't the only demographic Kamala is struggling with.
This is the Democratic margin among black men under the age of 45 in presidential elections. You go back to November of 2012, what do you see? You see Obama by 81. Clinton only won him by 63. Then we're all the way down to Biden last time around by 53. A tremendous drop already. And then you take a look at the average of the most recent polls, and Kamala Harris is up by only 41 points.
Democrats deployed their ultimate weapon, Barack Obama. At a campaign stump for Harris on Thursday in Pittsburgh, Obama said that despite Harris raising upward of $1 billion, we have yet to see the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. That lag in energy, he added, appears, quote, to be more pronounced with the brothers. You're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, he said, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman for president, and you're coming up.
I bet you a lot of guys would vote Tulsi Gabbard. Seriously.
Up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. Once again, their only tactic seems to be getting in a man's face and going tisk tisk bad boy. Like a dog that just peed on the carpet. It's not 2014 anymore, Barack. Nobody cares about sexism, motherfucker. We can't afford groceries. What's crazy is, as
the groceries thing is, everyone who I've talked to, it's the groceries. It's the fact that we can't afford food. That's what's really bothering us. It isn't like Trump's stupid wording doesn't matter to us right now. We want food. We want to be able to afford groceries for our families and gas.
As far as I know, Kamala herself has never played the woman card. She has never played the sexism card. In fact, she actively pushes against it.
You've been reluctant to lean into, to talk about the historic nature of your candidacy on the campaign trail. Why is that?
Well, I'm clearly a woman. I don't need to point that out to anyone. The point that most people really care about is
can you do the job? And do you have a plan to actually focus on them?
I was proud. It's like they finally learned from Hillary Clinton's failure. But that didn't stop the media or Barack Obama from doing it for her. Thanks, Obama. For all the Zoomers, thanks, Obama was a meme in like 2008. Yeah, it was funny back then. That would have slapped. While I was writing this video, Kamala and Gretchen Whitmer were getting ready to film a video at a bar together when Kamala was apparently caught on hot mic saying this.
Yeah. Oh, we have microphones and I'm just listening to everything. I didn't realize that. Okay. So,
That's so staged. It's painful.
delete my F words. We just told
Anyone see the Amalia reaction to Kamala trying to get the audience to change their chant mid chant? Oh, that was painful. Mid rally.
Shit. We need to move ground with men, so what we're gonna do is pretend to drink beer at a bar. Men like beer, right?
Cheers.
Just talk about policy. Just be yourself. Just listen to men and what they want. Kamala, all you gotta do is talk. Actually, no, now that I think about it, that might make it worse. Put Tim Walz out there, okay? Let Tim Walz do the talking. Don't dress him up as a man. You wanna know how to speak to men? Go to where they are. A good place to speak to young men is the Joe Rogan podcast, which Kamala hinted at going on, but then that never happened, and instead Trump went on, and that episode hit like 20 million views in a day. But like, can you blame her? Joe Rogan is just one of the most popular podcasts in the world with a majority young male
I feel
audience.
like if Elon could, it's because citizenship he can't, but if Elon could be president, I think Trump totally would have had him be his vice president. Honest truth.
I hate it here. Every time this topic comes up, so does the topic of like Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, internet algorithms, Gamergate, whatever.
There is a massive amount of...
Look, again, a wig. Shave all that off. A dress. Just BS, visualize it.
Right-wing radicalization that has been occurring, especially in younger male spaces, any hobbies whatsoever, whether it's playing video games, whether it's working out, whether it's, I don't know, listening to like a history podcast or whatever.
You realize that you play video games and work out. What is your point, you jackass?
Everything that they see is right-wing sentiment being expressed by individuals that they find charismatic.
But you can only blame internet algorithms for so much for so long. This automatic assumption that any dissent from liberal mainstream thought could only be caused by manipulation or brainwashing from podcasters is honestly a cope, in my opinion, and just an easy excuse for failing to reach anyone beyond your own subreddit. As if this all wasn't the result of like a stagnant neoliberal corpo hell world that created a vacuum that—
We haven't even been pausing her that often, and we're still somehow at 44 minutes, and she's only at 23.
was just waiting to be filled with any kind of populism. The crazy thing is, the Democratic Party did have a candidate who successfully spoke to the demographic that they are currently trying so hard to reach. His name was Bernie Sanders. And every time he did speak to that demographic, or say he was concerned that the Democratic Party didn't do enough to speak to that demographic, he was called a sexist, a racist, he was backstabbed multiple times, and cheated out of winning the Democratic primaries. His fans were called Bernie Bros, and constantly berated as sexists and misogynists. His campaign was too white and too male, and this apparently was a top priority to remedy in future campaigns. We were told he was just like Trump and, quote, appealed to angry white men. Well, who's trying to appeal to angry white men now, bitch? It's almost like Bernie's hyper-focus on working class issues, bread and butter issues.
I miss the old shit posting, shit talking, YouTube. The bloodbath YouTube. Oh. You have no idea how potty mouth she is. Like here with the little censored everything, that's kind of like timed for the joke. If she hasn't taken down her old videos, which I think she already has, but if you find them archived somewhere, look at her old Shoe on Head videos, man. She was brutal.
and populism was naturally attractive to men. No football or beer required. I miss him. And you know what? Maybe this shift with young men has less to do with who's holding the
By the way, she married a Catholic.
football, and more of what happens when the DNC spends all their time and energy trashing the little bit of populism.
You want to get a gremlin girl? You want to get a girl who's popular and changes the world while still being sarcastic and a dumbass? Become a Catholic.
In their movement. And if you ask me, handing conservatives a monopoly on anti-establishment rhetoric on a silver platter was
And she
probably
dresses amazing. I mean, come on.
their first mistake. They kind of gave up on that bread and butter New Deal stuff for identity politics, and if you deny this, you are either lying or coping. The physical manifestation of the left has gone from the vision of the blue-collar union worker to a nagging, scolding fat woman with blue hair, barging into everyone's spaces and culturally—
You know, I haven't seen her hang out with Blair in a long time. I wonder if she still hangs out with any of her friends from back in the shitposting days.
colonizing them. Change this, change that. I don't like this, I don't like that. It's just incredible for me to witness years of anti-male rhetoric finally come back to bite the left and Democrats in the ass. Watching these chickens come home to roost has just been both incredibly depressing and deliciously vindicating to me in a sick way, and I'm not sure if I should lend out a helping hand or Mufasa them off this cliff. Some Democrats are nervous the party was too late to realize the problem. These Democrats worry that the party has focused too much on courting women voters, LGBTQ voters, and culturally progressive voters, alienating too many men in the process. There's a recognition that we're losing men, and the things we're doing around men haven't been working. I think a lot of it is a reaction to social progressivism done the wrong way, says David Hogg. Young men, he says, feel like progressives look—
Oh, I'm doing my show live right now. I'm watching a character called Shoe on Head while I'm waiting for results to roll in. Right now, Trump is ahead. So right now it looks like he's going to win. It's still a long time. At least 2 states won't get any results in until tomorrow. So, but right now it's looking pretty heavy for his side.
So a lot ahead.
Yeah, I sent you the image of the last update. Did you get it?
Yeah, I didn't expect this big difference.
Nobody else did either. The people that I work with were all shocked. I mean, I expected it to be tighter based on the polling, but yeah, he's ahead. He's ahead.
So only 2 states left?
No, there's more than 2 states left. Hold on, let me open up the map again. No, wrong thing. Okay. All right. Harris is at 210. Trump is at 230 right now. So Harris could still pull it out. There's still enough out there for her to pull it back together. And then you know the host that you like, the one that you said was kind of cute. He was in McAllen. He was on you know the bar at the park where me and you would go ride our bike, the brewery. Are you there?
No.
Where the animals would came up to you. Remember, like the animals would come up to you when you were riding your bike.
In where? Your neighborhood or?
No. When you would ride to work.
The dog, the road where there's just dog?
No. The lake, the Fireman's Park. With the animals, the beavers and everything would come up to you as you were riding your bike. The ducks would come up to you.
This way.
Yeah. So Ben Shapiro, the host you said is cute. He was here 2 days ago campaigning with Ted Cruz.
I don't know what I'm talking about. A famous lady?
No, Ben Shapiro, the guy who you said is cute, the guy who hosts a talk show. Yes, he's like when you looked at all the stuff that I watch, you're like, what's this? What's this? What's this? And you're like, oh, I like this guy, that guy. He was here.
A brown man.
No, a Jewish guy.
White.
Yes, white.
Good. Anyway.
It's all right. Okay, well.
Along the beautiful street.
No, he wasn't at the beautiful street. He was on Ware and Corner Row. The bar, there's a brewery. There's a big lake that I like to go to, that I like to run around.
Okay.
Well, hey, let me get back to the show. I'll call you back in about 30 minutes, or are you going to be back in class?
I'll be back in class.
All right. Okay, well, I love you. Bye. Love you. All right.
Look down on them for saying the wrong thing, even when it's a mistake. That discomfort is enough to drive them away from the Democratic Party, even if they don't necessarily agree with Republicans. They would rather be around someone they don't agree with who doesn't judge them, than somebody they do agree with who judges them constantly. Men aren't moving right because they are choosing fascism, they are moving right because the left made them the villains in their anime fanfiction. It's not that they all like Trump, it's that they all hate you, and no amount of camo hats is going to fix that. But do not get it twisted, I do not in any way, shape, or form believe the GOP is going to help men. I don't think they're gonna help anyone. Except maybe Israel. Do I think all of the left is some hyper woke fat lady wagging her finger in men's faces like no fun allowed? No. If I did, I wouldn't call myself left-wing. I'm not a Democrat, I'm a registered independent. But the Democratic Party is historically better.
It's interesting because there's no, I don't know anyone who's a registered Democrat or registered Republican here where I live.
On policy, and despite their messaging, even when it comes to helping men. Healthcare, higher wages, paid family leave, labor protection, social security, things Republicans have always fought against. And I think that's why this is extra frustrating to me. I don't say this with any love for the Republican Party. In fact, if anything, I say it with love for the Democratic Party. I fucking hate them, but deep down, I wish they could be better. I'm doing this for your own good. Shh. Go sleep, shh. Go to sleep, I love you, go to sleep. I just hope that whether Kamala wins or loses, the party can take a step back and evaluate what they're doing wrong. Because I don't think the Democratic Party should be the party for the gays and women. I think the Democratic Party should be the party for everyone, including angry white men. So in your opinion, what could the Democratic Party do to win back young men? Can they do anything? Are they fucked? To me, it might take decades of work to fix the culture, the rot that infests the progressive ideology. It is going to take a lot of work to...
If you watch anything of Anna Kasparian talking to... Was Anna on Daily Wire today? I didn't see her on Daily Wire. It's a 12-hour stream at this point. But yeah, I wanted to watch her on there.
Fix, but I think it's worth it, not just for the
Anyway, did you watch her in Adam and Stitch this morning? So yeah.
Party's sake, but just for society's sake. If you like this video, please consider donating to my Patreon, link down below. It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it so
we're gonna
much.
go one more update, and then we're gonna go check out. That's an interesting pause game right there. Then we're gonna watch like 2 or 3 other people's streams, just see where they're at, and then we're gonna call it a night. Let me give you one last update from my end. See, what do we got? Harris at 210, Trump at 230.
Also, thank you for 2 million subscribers. That's insane. And I will see you guys with a new video soon. Bye!
She's got to enjoy the money. All right, let's check out. I'm just going to go to my subs. That's right, I got premium, y'all. Premium. If you're not watching Struggle Nation, you really should. They have really great commentary. All right, we're not going to screen snipe Daily Wire because they will fuck with me, and I don't feel like dealing with that. Let's check out just a little bit, maybe no more than 5 minutes of Adam and Stitch. And then we'll check out Metatron.
Very unruly. And essentially,
What do they got
she
going
said in
on?
order to get to these better schools, she had to get a master's. And when she took these master courses, they were all about
Oh, I think Stitch called it a
understanding
night already.
race and teaching
See
kids
what's going
about,
on.
like, you know, all this racial
I don't know
shit.
who
She's
she
telling
is.
me how ridiculous that is. She doesn't understand why kids
Adam
need to
Friend,
know
it's still
that.
on.
And I was like, oh my God. This
Oh
is
yeah, I
it.
think
This is
Stitch
like
already
the
went to bed.
complaint. And then after
Look at that.
like maybe 30 minutes later, she started complaining about the Don't Say No Gay bill and how they're gonna lock the gays away.
Oh,
or
I think
something.
it's.
I was like,
okay,
okay.
wait, here we go.
Man,
Let's
right?
make live. There we go. Live.
Jesus is totally on the line here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
'Cause
Stitch
I
is
think
still
he
there.
made the claim that he's predicted correctly all the past
Every
elections.
single
Let's see what's
election in
the-
the entire history of America.
I can't see what the election
Or
is
since he started
right now on
doing
their
his
thing.
right?
Right.
So,
All right, let's go check out
So, and
Metatron.
he had predicted that Kamala was going to win based on the keys. So let's
Well,
see.
first of all, he predicted.
And Metatron is completely right. I don't like. I can't stand Destiny anymore either, so that's why I'm not watching Destiny. $2:10, $2:30. ABC News. I'm not going to chance it. I'm not sub to ABC News. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Oh, let's check out Amalia just for a second. Go watch her channel. If you're not subscribed to her, subscribe to her right now. She's really awesome.
There's that. I have that going for me. When I was a Democrat,
She's a really
it was
good host.
before I was able to vote. But yeah, not only Democrat, I was just like lefty. I don't even. If it wasn't such a shared experience amongst like everybody virtually who had that initial experience with Trump in 2016, maybe I would feel weirder about it. But because so many people, I experienced the like sort of collective.
Let's see. Michael Lofton. Let's check out Michael Lofton just real quick. See how he's doing.
Something substantive, positive that's consistent with your message.
He's watching
or
Fox
consistent
News.
with where the country
That's
wants to go.
unoriginal.
Again, I don't want to write anybody's political obituary here. A presidential race.
I like how meta this is. We could watch him watching someone else. That's just awesome. Penguins is on. Let's see. Film Threat. No, I think Film Threat would be a little bit less. I think it'd be copyright strike happy. Ben Shapiro, no. Daily Wire's too litigious. We just checked these guys out, but we'll check them out again.
Very unruly. And
Go live.
They won't count any provisionals till tomorrow.
Right. Look at.
Let's see. Alpha and Omega Ministries had an election night stream, although he tapped out early. Metatron. Did you watch the Secret Scholars one? It was not good. It was not a good stream. All right, let's see what Metatron's doing. See if he's still going. Oh, I think he went to bed.
For you. That's not me. But under the percentage of my time, I'm going to change the colors in a second. When I do the YouTuber who went to Japan and acted like clue, I don't know anything because I see it, and then I think toxicity finds its way regardless. At least that's me. It's one of the most influential, if not the most influential country in the world.
It's just
It's okay. Oh. Fair. Of my forefathers, as opposed to Italian, what would you suggest?
Yeah, this was not good. This was the only one that I saw that was not excellent. So I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna click on it right now. But yeah, that's the only one I saw that wasn't good. Of course, he's great. Always, he's entertaining. Although right now he's got some legal troubles going on. All right, guys. I think that's it. I know today was nonsense, but it was supposed to be. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. We'll talk about the election results. Hopefully it'll be in by tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't go 2 or 3 days. I hope you voted if you're an American. Please vote. Please have taken it seriously, because neither of these candidates are great candidates, but both of them have completely opposing agendas. So we should be voting to push the country in one direction or the other. That is important. I love you all. Have a good night. Ignore all my bad jokes tonight. Just remember that Schoenhead's amazing, and Amalia's amazing and beautiful. And B.S. Lewis made an appearance. That's pretty much all that matters. God loves you. I love you. Forgive everyone. God forgives you. Have a good night. And let's pray for the country. Have a good one. Let's hope for peace. Good night.
Looking for hope, yeah. I worked on myself, learned a few lessons. Without you, I spread my wings to the heavens. But where did you go when I was down and I needed you most, yeah?
It was long days and long nights, battling with demons, so tired from the fights, yeah. I was struggling to make ends meet, thought I had you on my team, now the feeling's bittersweet, cause I look back now, and it looks different. I was trying to win for us, but you had a different mission. Just listen, I fought hard every day. You gave away someone who would follow you into the grave.
Where did you go when I was down and I needed you most, yeah? Where did you go when I was alone, just looking for hope, yeah? I worked on myself, learned a few lessons. Without you, I spread my wings to the heavens. But where did you go when I was down and I needed you most, yeah?
Life's looking good now, cut out the negative. It stays away if you make sure not to let it in. A different purpose, I'm a different person. I've been working on myself, built a new version. The best revenge is having success, so what's next? Goddamn, I've been feeling real blessed to be alive, to be in this life. I got a new chance to move on and thrive. So I'll stay strong, I'll live life, I'll be wrong,